that laws should protect our God-given rights or natural rights. Having rights means there are some things you can do, and nobody is allowed to stop you. People are revolting.
I agree. People are very revolting.
No, they're literally revolting right now because their rights are not being protected. Laws should help to protect our rights. For instance, we all have a right to life.
Which means I can live, even if lots of people don't want me to.
Huh?
And we all have a right to liberty, which means we can do stuff without people stopping us. We can say the things we want to say.
Like, Mr. Bastier, you should wear deodorant. Ooh, that felt good.
Touché. Or go where we want to go.
Like church, or the deodorant store.
Okay, I get it.
Or do whatever we want.
As long as it doesn't take away anyone's rights or hurts them.
Aww.
Finally, we have a right to property, which means no one can take our stuff.
Like my collection of assorted gummy bears.
Rights to life, liberty, and property are so important, they need to be protected. Ooh, that's good. I'm gonna write that down. And if they're not protected, people suffer. Quality of life declines, and this happens.
Meet my friend James Madison. He was the shortest U.S. president. So what are you up to? 4 feet?
Grandma, you can't say stuff like that about the President of the United States.
Well, she absolutely can, even though with these boots on, I get an extra 2 inches, so I don't know what she's talking about.
Twins, before he was president, James Madison was one of the authors of the Bill of Rights, which starts with the First Amendment.
That's the one about free speech, right?
Yes, we wrote it to protect your right to express yourself without punishment from the government.
But what if someone is saying bad things about you?
The intent of the First Amendment was to protect people when they share opinions, even mean ones. Do you really want the government choosing who can say what?
What if people believe these mean lies and then won't vote for you?
Unfortunately, part of the price of free speech is accepting that people might say cruel things that you don't agree with, even lies. But as my good friend Thomas Jefferson said, you can also use reason and persuasion to defend yourself.
So you helped write the First Amendment so that both bad and good speech would always be protected.
It can be surprisingly tempting to silence others. For example, John Adams, one of America's founding fathers, helped create the First Amendment. But a few years afterwards, when some newspaper reporters criticized Adams, he threw them in jail. The guy who helped create the First Amendment violated the First Amendment.
So it sounds like we always have to fight to protect free speech.
Now, believe me, I'd love to sign a bill saying that short jokes are illegal.
Well, that would be a tall order. That was so good. Oh, so funny.
Your private information is also your property, so taking someone's information is stealing. According to the Constitution, it is illegal for the government to search your property unless they suspect you of a crime and get permission from a judge to search your property.
The Fourth Amendment.
Exactly.
Ooh, VR headsets.
Think about the privacy protections in the Constitution like the door to your house. No one else has the right to just walk into your home, including the government. But in 2013, top-secret documents were leaked to the public, revealing that the government was watching everyone without their knowledge. They were monitoring phone calls, reading internet searches, and even listening to conversations in people's private homes.
Why would the government invade everyone's privacy like this?
Their reasoning was to track down bad guys.
But how is it legal for them to take everyone's information/property without permission?
The government passed a law that said they could do it, even though the Constitution says it's illegal.
I've definitely heard the term religious freedom, but I thought that meant we could join whatever church we wanted.
It is larger than that. 'Tis the freedom to think and act according to thine beliefs and to assemble with other like-minded people to discuss those beliefs openly. This little miracle, like all people, was born with a natural right to act according to her conscience, or in other words, follow what she believes is right. But sometimes governments violate this natural right by forbidding or forcing people to practice a particular religion.
The best player on our soccer team is gonna skip the most important game of the season for some religious holiday we haven't even heard of. Are you saying we should allow him to just bail on us?
Even if you don't agree with his religion, thou must respect his freedom to practice it.
As long as it doesn't violate others' rights.
But what about what he's doing to us?
Is he taking away your liberty, property, or hurting you?
Well, no.
Then get over it and respect his right to his faith, just as you would like respect in return.
What about people who don't believe any faith?
They should be free to practice no religion if they so choose. What is religion? Is it the sacred and divine? Yes. But look at it also as a set of ideas that people believe and act on. What we often call religious freedom is really about protecting a person's right to follow their conscience.
Oh, so we need to protect the right to religion for everyone.
Yay, keep religion free for me and for thee.
These kids think needs are rights!
A very common mistake.
I mean, if you need something to survive, shouldn't that be, a right?
Actually, no. Everyone needs food, water, and shelter to survive. But that doesn't give them a right to it. That's because you don't have a right to someone else's labor. Most human needs require money, work, or time from someone else. Look at all the effort it takes for these blokes to get their basic needs. If you had a right to shelter, that would force this builder to build you a house for free. Hey!
Oh, sorry.
The only rights you're entitled to don't force others to work for you.
If you had a right to food, that would force this baker to give you the bread she spent all day baking.
Yeah, I guess that is unfair.
Okay, I get that if our basic needs were a right, that would take away other people's freedom. But what about kindness?
A big fan of it myself, but that should be a choice. The government forcing someone to be kind isn't kindness. It's coercion. Look, we may have many needs and wants, like food, shelter, education, and medical care. But the only rights we have are the ones that don't force anyone to work for us. Our life, liberty, and property, or as I call them, natural rights.
The rights you have alone in nature.